Hello, welcome to stage one of the Tour de France, Sudoku style. So, yeah, there's a lot of rules here, but we're going to get through the rules and then we're going to have a race. And I think this looks excellent. It looks just like the kind of route map for a stage of the Tour de France with a couple of climbs and then a descent to the finish. Really looking forward to giving this a go. The Tour de France is on at the moment. I haven't managed to do this on the day of stage one. I think we're into the second week at this point. Mark Cavendish just won his 37th stage, I think, making him the all-time, what is it, 35th? Well, he's the all-time leader in terms of stages won and was congratulated by Eddie Merckx, the previous one. And we're very proud of him. I think he has accepted a knighthood, although he hasn't been made a knight yet. The papers aren't calling him Sir Mark Cavendish, but he's done very well. In the actual general classification of the race, as I knew of it yesterday, Tadej Pogačar had taken a 50-second lead over last year's winner, Jonas Vingegaard. So he's quite in good shape in the yellow jersey. Oh, that's why yellow is at the top of this grid. Anyway, we will, I'm not going to major on the details of well, I have already majored on what's going on in the actual Tour de France, but we're going to look at Pal Pot's puzzle to find out what is going on in it in a moment. Now, don't forget that on Patreon, loads going on. This month, we've got Pause's brilliant a 6x6 Sudoku but puzzle hunt, and 10 Sudokus, 9 of them 6x6, one of them 4x4, and you could be done in 5 seconds on that puzzle. But they are good fun. Very approachable Sudoku hunt for once, and loads of people getting through it. That's exactly what we want. Do give it a try if you haven't joined us on Patreon before. That is a good one to cut your teeth on to get started. Entry level Sudoku hunt. And if for non-entry level Sudoku hunters, Simon has done the videos of Blobs' brilliant Lord of the Rings Sudoku hunt, and they're on Patreon as well for the $3 a month Patreons. And then later in the month, if you got through the Pause hunt and you want a bit more to do, we're going to be bringing you Rock Rat Zero's very slightly late tribute to our reaching 600,000. It's called 600k Bang, and it's 5 interlinked Sudokus, a bit like a samurai or old round 4 of the World Sudoku Championship. It's great fun. I have tested it. It's a brilliant puzzle, and it certainly features 600 and CTC in it. We will be bringing that out on Patreon in a day or two. So loads going on Patreon as always, and there's of course all our apps which do include line Sudoku. We'll be clearly exploring certain lines today, each of which does feature inline Sudoku. Each of these line types, interestingly, I guarantee that. And what else? I mean, as well as line Sudoku, there's loads of other apps. You can check them out on the links under the video, along with Sven's Sudoku pad and our merchandise, like this rather wonderful Cracking the Cryptic mug. How can you not want one of those? I do, and I've got one. Right. If you click on the link under the video, you will get the version of this with the long set of rules. I have condensed that down to a shorter set for you to apply in this puzzle. But let's go through, actually, shall I go through the shorter set? Well, I'll go through the longer set because that's what I can read on my screen at the moment. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Each line in the grid represents the path of a different rider. Obviously, a yellow rider, a green rider, a red rider, and a grey rider. Now, along the yellow rider, this is a Dutch whisper line, and adjacent digits have to have a difference of at least 4. With the green line, this is a German whisper line, and adjacent digits have to have a difference of at least 5. So very similar rules for those, very slightly different difference. Now, the red rider is an alternating parity line, so each digit is a different parity, odd or even, to the next one along the line. And then the grey line is a 10 line, which divides up into segments that add up to 10. Segments don't overlap, but we have to determine where they are and what they're made up of. Now, there are also rules about the white dots, which the two cells connected contain consecutive digits, the X, where the two cells connected add up to 10, and there is more. There is more because this is a race, and the yellow rider is going to beat the green rider, who's going to beat the red rider, who's going to beat the grey rider. Now, they all amass points in different ways. The yellow rider earns a point for every 5 on its path. The green rider earns a point every time there's a 4 or a 6 on its path. The red rider gets a point for every adjacent pair of consecutive digits on its path. And the grey rider earns a point for every 3-cell segment that sums to 10 on its path. So those are the rules, and we have to make that work. We have to obey the separate rules for the lines, and we have to complete our Tour de France stage 1. It looks complicated to me, so this may be an actual 200-kilometre stage of the Tour de France rather than a quick sprint for the sprinters. Anyway, I am really looking forward to giving this a go, and I'm going to restart my clock and say, let's get cracking. So, and there's not much to go on. Let's start with that thought. But there is this matter of yellow beating green, who beats red, who beats grey. And I think we start with the fact that yellow scores points for a 5 on the line. 5s are allowed on Dutch whisper lines, thank goodness, so it can score. But basically, the maximum that yellow can score is 5, because it only traverses 3 boxes of the grid. So it can only meet 3 5s, 1 in each box. Sorry, did I say the maximum score was 5? I meant the maximum score is 3. So I think that has obviously got to be the score for yellow. It's going to meet 3 5s and score 3. Green is going to meet 2 4s and 6s and score 2. Red is going to have 1 pair of consecutive digits somewhere and score 1. And grey is going to have no 3-cell segments that add up to 10. This must be right, because yellow has to score 3 maximum. So that has to be right. What I'm struggling with is how can grey have no 3-cell segments? There are 9 cells on each of these paths. They go through each column of the grid, so there are clearly 9 cells. That's an odd number. If we're going to divide up the grey line into segments that add up to 10, at least one of those has to have an odd number of cells in it. But we've just determined that there are no 3-cell segments. That's really interesting. I thought I'd misunderstood something, and I now think I haven't. I now think what I'm coming across is a beast I have never met before, which is a 5-cell segment on a 5-cell segment on a grey 10 line. There's no reason why you can't have that. You're allowed repeats. I mean, I've met 5-5 as a segment on a 10 line before. Yeah, okay, we've got to have a 5-cell segment, and then let's be careful. It might be 2 2-cell segments to make up the line, or there might be a 4-cell segment. But there must be a 5, and it could be 1 2 3 1 3. Okay, now I'm going to start with where are we going to fit the 5-cell segment. It could be at the beginning of the line, or it could be in between 2 2-cell segments, or it could be on the end. And I think that will work, potentially. You could have 1 2 3 there and a 1 3 there, then a pair here, and a pair there, or a 4-cell segment here. However, it won't work if we have the 5-cell segment at the start, because all of these would have to be different numbers. 1 2 3 4 add up to 10, and you've still got that cell to come, and you bust the total of 10. Now what about the middle segment? It's the same deal. In row 8, 1 2 3 4 add up to 10, and that breaks it. So the 5-cell segment, let's get the pen tool involved. The 5-cell segment is at the end here. That is a 5-cell segment adding up to 10. And there's 1 degree of freedom based on the minimum digits here, 1, 2, 3, and the minimum digits here, 1, 2. They only add up to 9. So this is either 1, 2 or 1, 3, oops, in that pair. And there's definitely a 1. And this is either 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 4 in this trio. And there is a minimum, well, there is at least a 1 and a 2 there. So grey scores 0, red scores 1, green scores 2, yellow scores 3. So there's a 5 in one of those cells, a 5 in one of those. Those 2 5s are using up the 5s in row 1 and 2. And the 5 in this segment is over here. Now, how can yellow, a Dutch whisper line, we often see it as orange, it's yellow for thematic reasons I think here. How can that have a 5 on? It can only have a 5 when its neighbours are 1 or 9 or both. Or one of those repeated. But I mean, yeah, let's try and figure this out. If that was a 5, one of these in row 1 is a 5, because we can only have 1 5 in row 2. One of these is a 5. If it was there, this would be a 1 9 pair. But now you'd have a problem with the other 5, which would either be here or here, and would need to be surrounded by a 1 9 pair. Now, if you had 1 9 there and you put 5 here, this is going to have to be a third 1 or 9 in the row, and that's illegal. If you put the 5 here instead, when you've already had 1 9 here, this cell is going to have to be 1 or 9, and it's the same problem. So that is not the 5 in row 1. That is, there is our first digit in this grid. Now, these are not 5s. One of these is a 5 and one of these. This 5 is surrounded by 1 and 9 because they're in the same row. They have to be different. This 5, this cannot be a 5 because that would have to be a 1 or a 9 as well. So the 5 is at the beginning. Probably there's another 5 at the end, although I can't quite rule that one out yet. But that 5 is at the beginning. This is a 1 or 9, and that is connecting on the white dot to a 2 or an 8. Now, we can colour for high and low, perhaps. Maybe we can't. Yes, we can, because we must alternate. Once we take 5s off a yellow line, off a Dutch whisper line, we're going to alternate between digits over 5 and digits under 5. So these two are going to be different. So let's call that purple. That's either high or low. This is also purple because it's connected on the white dot. This is the other. This is green. This one is purple again because we're alternating. This one is green. That's a 5. It doesn't get a colour. This is purple. And then one of these is green. Either purple sits next to green, or you get a 5 here, and then this is the other of 1 or 9. So one of those is green. Now, this green line doesn't have any 5s on because a German whisper line can't. This 2 is going to alternate between high and low. So let's mark the alternating cells. We'll go with yellow and red this time. I'm trying to avoid orange and blue because they'll be high and low when we figure out which is which. That's also red because it's on a white dot and this can't be a 5. That's yellow because of the X. You get one high digit and one low digit on an X. Now I want to try and relate red and yellow to purple and green. If green is the same as red, all 4 reds are done in row 3. I don't know, that seems all right. What's the green going to score? It's going to hit 4 and 6 twice. Oh, yeah, bingo, right. These 3 red cells, and in fact all 4 red cells, cannot be 4 or 6, total bingo. Because you can't place 4 or 6 on a green line where its 2 neighbours could see each other. If you put a 4 here, those would both be 9s, and that's illegal. If you put a 4 here, those would both be 9s. If you put a 4 here, both of those. And if you put a 4 here, both of those, which isn't a problem in row 4, but in box 6. But that means none of the reds are 4 or 6. So the 4s and 6s, and green has to pick up 2, are on yellow. And only one of them is in row 4, because there's only one yellow 4 or 6 digit. And the other is there. And that means that is touching a 1 or a 9 on the line. And this isn't 4 or 6, because it's in the same box as yellow 4 or 6. So one of these, listen to this. One of these is 4 or 6. And is touching one of these peaks, one of these mountaintops. Either one of those is touching that, or that is touching that. So one of these is red 1 or 9. Oh, bother. If red is there, red is green. And if red is there, red is purple. I thought that was going to disambiguate the colours together. Yeah, absolutely didn't bother. If that was 1 or 9, this would be 2 or 8 in that colour. Oh, how am I meant to know which yellow is 4 or 6, or am I not? Is that not the game? This isn't 1 or 9 because, oh no, it could be. That would be a 1-9 pair. Sorry, this isn't a white dot, this is an X. Okay, I thought I was making some progress there, but now I cannot relate red and yellow to purple and green. Have I missed something? Sorry, are you seeing something here? I thought I was making good progress there. Right, we need another 4 or 6 to get... Well, we're going to hit all the yellows here. This is red because it sees 4 yellows and it sees 5. So that's red. And along here we have 2 reds and a 5. Is that useful? What are we doing on red? We're alternating parity, not polarity. Okay, I'm not quite understanding what's happening. Right, I need to relate red versus purple or green, and that must be happening up here somewhere. So if red was green, yes, there we go. The other digit here that goes with the 5 is green 1 or 9. And I'm saying one of these peaks is a 1 or a 9. Because one of these is a 4 or a 6. So the peak that is a 1 or a 9 here is not green. So red is purple. We've done it. Well done, us. Yellow becomes green. One of these can now be purple 1 or 9. It's got to be this one, in fact, because we can't put purple 1 or 9 there in a box where we've already had purple 1 or 9. So that's 1 or 9. That's 2 or 8 in purple. Same digit as that. Now, the 4 or 6 that is touching that is not in the same box as 4 or 6, it's there. And that is touching 1 or 9 on its other side, which is touching 1 or 9 on an X. We're getting a lot of 1-9s etched in. Green, green, green 1 maybe, or purple, purple, purple 1. Yeah, whichever one of these is 1 is going to determine greenness and purpleness and whether they're high or low. Okay. What's this? This is not purple 1-9 or purple 2-8. It must be purple 3-7 touching green, either green 1-2 or green 8-9. And this is green 3-7 now. By elimination. Do I know what this is? I know it's not 1-9 in purple. Never mind. Look where green 4-6 goes now. In one of these 3 cells. Can it be here? Yes. Ah, that's really interesting because green's going to be that green 4-6 is going to be even. Oh. Okay. Here's an interesting question. Oh, no, it's not. I was going to say the only way that this cell could be odd is if it's green 3-7 or it's a 5, which got less interesting when I admitted the 5 possibility. One, 9. So is it this stuff? Am I meant to relate these now? I've got those probable 2 10 segments still to find. Actually, it can't be a single 10 segment. Oh, there could be a repeat digit. Oh, I'll leave that for now. I'll think about that if I have to. This one is alternating odd and even. And it's only meeting one pair of adjacent digits somewhere in its length. Oh, look at this cell. I was going to say, this is, well, it's either purple 4 or 6, which is the only purple it can be based on that threesome, or it's the number 5, because it can't be any of the greens, because they're all kind of marked off in row 4 already. So that digit is 4, 5, or 6. And we've had the 1-9 pair in this row. The green 1-9 is in one of these, so we've sort of had the 1-9 pair in both rows. There is a green 1-9 somewhere here, and there is a purple 1-9. Ah, there's a purple 1-9 in one of these two cells, and that is an odd digit. Look, purple, purple, purple 1-9 there. The purple 1-9 in box 4 is in one of these two, and is odd. So the odd cells are spaced out like this on the red route, and the even cells are spaced out like this. On the white dot, we alternate, and indeed we can fill in all the blues in row 6 because we got the 5 oranges. Now, these are even. I'm not matching them with this, but they don't include 2, 8 because they're sitting in these cells. No, not both of them. They might. No, they see purple 2, 8 there and green 2, 8 in this box. So these don't include 2 or 8 at all. Does that make them a 4, 6 pair? It does, doesn't it? They're both even. They're both seeing purple 2, 8, and they're both seeing green 2, 8. Yeah, yes, this is right. Either purple is high, in which case that's an 8 there, and this is a 2, 1 pair, and this has to be 4, 6. Or purple is low, in which case that's a 2 there, this is an 8, 9 pair, and these still have to be 4, 6. They are 4, 6, that's a 5. This is not a 5, this is 3 or 7. Wow, that's so weird. These two cells are purple. I'm not trying to relate orange and blue to purple and green because purple and green are high and low, but orange and blue are odd and even. It's a different thing. It's funny how they played off with each other there, though. This set of digits is either 1, 2, 3 or 7, 8, 9. That's strange. Okay, look at the evens here. These are all even, so that's odd. This is odd as well, and it's purple, so that must be 3, 7 because we've had the purple 1, 9. So this is the 2 even purple numbers. Here's the whole set of evens in this box. This one is green as well as blue, and it's, yeah, green is high or low, so this is 2 or 8 in green. They're all even. This is odd. Here's 4 odds in this row now. And we've had the 1 9s. Can these be 5s? They can, so I have to be careful about that. Now, what else can I do? Remember, oh, that wouldn't be a consecutive pair scoring 1 point for red, because this is a consecutive pair. So if that's 3, that's 4, that's 6. So maybe we've got to think about consecutive pairs, or making more of these colours known, like that blue became green as well here. Those are all even. These are all odd. So one of them's a 5, and one of these is green, and one of them is purple. 5 probably deserves its own colour now. Let's make it yellow. Because if I could make one of these into a 5, I could colour it yellow or something. Now, here, those are even, that's even, these are even, obviously the blues are all even. Ah, so this is odd, but it's not 1 or 9. So is that. These are from 3, 5, 7. And one of those two is a 5 and is yellow, I suppose. I'm not colouring that. Yeah, I can. These are yellow and green between them. There's no purple there. Does that relate to these things yet? I don't get how it does. I think I still have to think about the red line. Well, these are from 2, 4, 6, 8. We've had green 2 or 8 there. Oh, that was green 4 or 6. So this is purple 4 or 6, and this is green 4 or 6. So these two are both purple, because we're seeing the green evens in this row. That is green and is 2 or 8. It can't be 4 or 6 anymore. So one of these is 2 or 8, and one of them is 4 or 6. They're both purple. That is the same polarity as this, so that's green as well. There's our 4 greens. Everything else here is purple. And that is a threat then to be the same, to be a, oh look, there's a threat all along here to be a consecutive digit. Well, if this was 3, that would be 7, 6, 4, and we would have a consecutive digit. If this was 3, that would be 4, 3. Well, and then purple would be low, so we'd have another one here. So this isn't 3. I mean, that's a weird deduction, but it does sort of work. Oh, hang on, I've got a 2, 4, 6, 8 quad. Of course I have, because these are all odd. Honestly, I can't even keep track of what I'm doing at all. That is obviously 1, 3, 7 or 9. This is utter fatuity, but I don't know what to do about it. I've had 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, I'm failing to understand something about greens and purples. That is 3, 7 or 4, 6. It's not the 1, 9 or the 2, 8. This can't be 2, because 2 is definitely down here. This even is 4, 6 or 8. Now this white cell, this odd cell can't be 1 now, because of the consecutiveness with the white dot. So the 1 in this row is now definitely in one of these cells. I don't know what to do with that. Right. No, no, no. I was going to say if that's purple 2, that's purple 2, and we can't have 2 here. That's not relevant at all. Maybe 3. Can we rule 3 out here? One of those is definitely a 3. Oh, that was 3, 4, 6, 7. This is green and it's not 1, 9. I don't know what to do with that info. Don't think this resolves. I don't know. I don't know where we are here. These are 1 of 2, 4 and 1 of 6, 8. These are definitely a pair of either the highest digits or the lowest. We're definitely meeting 2, 4 and 6s there. We're definitely meeting 3 5s up here. We're trying to avoid 3 cell segments down here. So it's really, I think on these lines, it's all about this red one only having 1 consecutive pair. That's really important, but I don't know how to use that. If this was low. Okay, that's interesting. If this was low, this would be 1, this would be 4, and this would be 1, 2, 3. This would have to then be a 1, 3 pair. And then, that's really interesting. If that was the case, purple would have to be high. Because if purple's low, that is a 1, 3 pair looking at that cell. Oh, hang on. Right. Either purple is low or green is low. That's absolutely obvious. If purple is low, that's a 1, 3 pair looking at that cell, which becomes a 2. If green is low, there's a 1, 3 virtual pair in these cells. Look, we've coloured them green and yellow here. The green one is a 3 if green is low. That's a 1, 3 pair looking at that cell. One of these cells has to be a 2. We know that one of them has to be a 1. We now know they're a 1, 2 pair, and this is a 1, 2, 4 set, and this is not a 4, and this digit is high, and this digit, it could be 5. Could it be 5? It's either 5 or it's high, and I feel like we're getting into the territory of places where this is going to matter in a moment. Oh, goodness, I can't actually see what to do with that. 6 or 8 here, that is, well, I feel like I've done something, but I don't know what it is I've done. This is either high or 5. Oh, this is so complicated to me. Oh, look, purple 1, 9 is not in those cells. So that is purple 1, 9 by sudoku. I need to do a bit more sudoku. That's what I need to do. So that's purple 1, 9. Green 1, 9 in this row. Well, it could be there. Or it could be here. That's so annoying. One of these is green 1, 9. But this is purple and this is purple. So, okay, this is getting interesting. From the sort of number of consecutive pairs. If this is 2 or 8, then it is a consecutive pair with purple 1 or 9. Just like up here, purple 1, 9 and purple 2, 8 form a consecutive pair. So if that's 2 or 8, we've got our 1 consecutive pair that we're allowed. We've also used up the 2, 2, 8s, and that's a 4, 6. And this would be the other version, this wouldn't be allowed to be 3 or 7 because it would be green and would be consecutive with this. Oh, that's very interesting. This is either consecutive with this or it's a 5. So we've either got our 1 consecutive pair there or we have a 5 here. So if that's a 5, then this is a high digit, 7 or 9. And that wouldn't that stop something happening? Oh, I feel like I'm there now and I just can't see where I am. These are the same color. If that's the one, they're both green. And then all of these are green as well. But if that's the one, then these are purple and all of these are purple. Ah, I don't know what I'm meant to be able to see here. I can't quite see it, whatever it is. Green 4, 6 is there and there. I just need to do more Sudoku. Look, green 3, 7 is there and there. This is not green 3, 7. This is a 5. Oh, that's taken me forever to see, and that's just been sitting there. This is a 5, so let's get rid of the other colours. It's just yellow. That is green 3, 7. And they're a triple. Okay, this 5 now, well, it's either sitting next to 4 and 6, 4 or 6, creating the one pair, the one consecutive pair on red, or that's a blue 2 or 8. Oh, I thought this, no, it's a purple 2 or 8 next to a purple 1 or 9, and that would be the consecutive pair. I'm right. Okay, one of these 2 is the consecutive pair. That is in the consecutive pair on red. So nothing else is allowed to be a consecutive pair. So that's 2 or 8. This can't be green 3, 7. Oh, that's not a 5. This is, by the way, definitely a high digit now, 7 or 9. I don't know which. What have I got going on in the row? I've got 1 high and 1 low there, 1 purple and 1 green. If only I knew the colour of this. Maybe I do from this new rule. This cannot be a 7, clearly, because it's touching 6 or 8. It also can't be a green odd digit, because it would be touching this green 2 or 8. And it is an odd digit, so it's purple. It mustn't be green, or we would create a pair there, a consecutive pair, and we've definitely got 1 going on here somewhere. So that is purple. That's the last purple. This is the last green in the region and is a 1, 9. And now we've got a 1, 9 pair, and that's a 7. And that's a 3, and that tells me the colours, the polarities. So green is low, and I'm going to stick with green as low in this puzzle. I'm not changing to orange and blue, because orange and blue can stay dealing with odd and even. So 3 is next to 4 there. That's a 6. Green is low everywhere. So we can just fill in the numbers where we have little pairs. Green is low. Keep remembering that for me. Green is low. 2 there. Purple is high. So these are all 9s. There's a lot of 9s getting filled in just like that. This is an 8. This is 7. This is 8. This is 7. This is an 8, 6 pair. That's, hang on. Ah, it's gone wrong. What have I done wrong then? I haven't put a 5. Okay, let me go back. I know what I did wrong, and it was useless. I didn't allow for a 5. It was here. This is a 5. That's been a 5 for ages. So I don't have a 1-9 pair, so all my deductions were rubbish. But I've still got 4 purples. That's still right. That had to be purple. This is green. Green is high. I hope that's what I was doing before. No, I wasn't. I was doing green is low before. I've now established it the right way around. Idiot. Green is high. 8, 6, 7. It's so funny that I could get that far before I noticed either the mistake or... So funny. Right. Purple is low. So that's 1, 2, 3. I'm so sorry about the error, but there we go. Brain fried at this point. Purple is low. So they're all 1s now. Well, that's really going to help down here in a moment. But let's keep doing these low things first. Purple is low. That's a 2, 4 pair. That's a 1. Yeah, that is either 4, 5 or 1, 2. That's exactly as we had it. This is a 9. That makes this an 8. This is a 3 and does at least work and doesn't create a pair. Yes, okay. So those are a 5, 9 pair. That's a 2. This is low. Purple is low. Green is high. Here we go. So this is where we get to. Now, 1 is looking down there. 2 and 1. This is not a 1 anymore. That's also not a 1. Well, that failed. That's because I'm not pressed in the cell. Okay. So that's a 2, 4 pair, and this is a 1. Let's get rid of the corner mark. Okay, that was purple. So this one is green. No, hang on. No, what? They're both purple. Purple is low. They're all purple. All of these things are purple. They just probably don't need to be coloured. That's a 4 now because we got the 2. So there's the 2, and this pair is the consecutive pair on the red line. Okay, this is a 2, 3 pair. I probably don't need the colouring anymore at all. Well, basically, I've nearly finished the lines. So I'm going to take all the colouring out now. Well, this is odd, but it mustn't be consecutive to that. So it's 3 or 5. Okay, now I'm going to take all the colouring out because it's done its job. And now I can concentrate on the numbers. We've got to maintain Dutch whisperage there. The green line's fine. The red line's fine. We've still got to find 10 pairs. Now, 7, 8, 9 here. That stops me worrying about a 4-cell 10 pair. This is part of a 2-cell 10 pair. Let's just draw that in. There's one there and one there. This 2-cell 10 pair needs a 1, 2 or 3 here. It can't be a 1. So that's 2 or 3 and that's not 9. It's also not 8 by Sudoku. Bingo. 7, 3, 8, 9 pair. This is another 10 pair that is not odd because it can't have 1 or 3 in it. So it's even. Don't know which way round it goes yet. But this line needs to have its difference maintained there specifically of 4. Okay, the rest is surely Sudoku at this point. 7, 5, 3 have to fit into these cells. So these are a 6, 9 pair, that's nice. 2, 4, 8 making up the rest of the column. This is 6 or 7, and these are from 6, 7, 9. Never afraid to pencil mark. It is my name. That 5, 9 pair is resolved. Oh, it was 5 in the middle. I thought it was going to be 5 at the end. That's not a 5. There's a 2, 4 pair here, so everything else in the row is 3, 6 or 7 in the column is what I meant. 1, 2, 9, 5. This row needs this column again. 3, 4 and 8. That one can't be an 8. Oh, 3 is looking at that cell. 2 now is in one of these 2. 1 is right here. 1, 7, 2, 8. Let's look at this row. Don't know. 9's in one of those two. 2's in one of those two. That is 2 or 4, forming a virtual pair with this pair that adds up to 10. Again, I don't know how to use it. One of these is a 7. The 7 in the bottom row is in one of these cells. That's not quite what I need. This is 4 or 6 in the corner. That's all it can be. And one of 4 and 6 and one of 8 and 9 are up here. 1, 7, 8, 9, 3. These are from 2, 4, 5, 6. How is this still holding out? This mean Tour de France stage has a nasty uphill finish, I find. Oh, that can't be 8. There's only one place for 8 in row 2. I can fill that in. The Dutch Whisper, that doesn't help because this can still be 3 or 4, but it sorts out box 4 completely. Now that 9 is going to be replicated in the corner up there. Then this is 4 or 6. These are from 4, 6, 7, and one of them is a 7. That hasn't done everything. That's so annoying. Right, this is 3, 4, or 7. This was where I started, where I got the 8 in the row. 2, 1, there's definitely a 9. There's an X-wing on 9s between those places. So that's going to use up the 9s in rows 8 and 9, and the 9 in row 7 is there. That's quite a complicated step. I do think so. For this stage of the puzzle. That's 4, 5, or 6. And we still may not be finished. 5's in one of those. It was because 7 was in one of those. So this can't be a 7. Chocolate teapot triple in column 6. 5 is in one of those two cells. There's another X-wing on 5's. One of these two is a 5 in row. This is because of the 10 line. And in column 3, one of those is 5. In column 4, one of those is 5. That's going to use up the 5's in rows 7 and 9. And this becomes a 3. And I'm hoping that does stuff. 7 and 5. That 7 makes this a 3, 6 pair. This is not a 3. These are from 2, 4, 7. Still not sure that that's enough. 5, 7 here. They're not impinging on any of these other digits. If that's 6, 4, then we have 8, 9, 2. If that's 2, 8, we have 9, 6, 4. How has that not... Oh, this is looked at by the 3 now. So that's a 4. This is 5 or 6. That 4 takes 4 out of these cells. 4 there takes 6 out of that cell. Got a 6, 8, 9 triple. And a 2, 4 pair. One of these is a 6 in this row. So that's not a 6. Wow. So that sorts out the 5's. This is now 2. Got 4 in the corner. 6 there. Definite uphill finish. That's not a 4. That's 3 or 8. 1, 2, 5. This hasn't been done. 5, 2, 8, 9, 1. No. 6, 3, 2, 1, 5, 9. I can't believe this is still holding out. Oh, 2 is looking at the end of the descent for the Grey Rider. There we go. 4 and 2. That sorts out 4 and 2. That makes this a 4, 7 pair. Then we can put in 8 and 2. That 8. No. Top row, we've got a 4, 7 pair and 3, 6, 8. Still to place apart from that. I cannot believe this is still not getting easy. It's so strange. It's very cleverly done. 621, this bottom row. This is 3, 7 or 8. Is there a triple there that I cannot see that you can see? This is madness. We've done all the indications. Oh no, look, this 10 line. There we go. 2 and 8. That was the last indication that we hadn't done. Goodness gracious, what a brilliant, brilliant outing at the tour today. That's fabulous stuff. That has fried my brain entirely. I'm going to be useless for anything else today. There we go. Brilliant. What a puzzle. That's fantastic, Pal Pot. I've enjoyed every moment of that struggle. What an intriguing outing. Congratulations to the yellow jersey wearer who finished, I think probably finished first when we were filling it in, funnily enough. Although maybe the German rider in green was doing quite well too. Very appropriate to have a Dutch and a German expert at this race. Maybe the red, I'm not sure. Yeah, Astana team, are they wearing red? I can't remember. Anyway, thank you for watching. We will be back with more Sudoku tomorrow. Great fun, and bye for now.